Someone on YouTube a few days back suggested I get the Larry light, and I'd never heard of the Larry light before, but because somebody suggested it, I decided to have a look at one. I happened to be in Weber's Hardware the other day in Wallkill, and he had the Larry light sitting there, and we were chatting about off-the-grid living, and just before he left he handed me one of these to try out. So I want to say thank you to Dom at Weber's Hardware for giving me the Larry light. Now I just threw a couple of pins in here so you can see. This is with my overhead LED light in my camper that I thought was impressive before. Now I'm going to shut off the overhead lights, all overhead lights. Now you see nothing. Now I'm going to turn on the Larry light and bring this up, and I'm quite impressed with the brightness and clarity of this thing. It's quite amazing. It's hard to see on the camera, really. Turn that off, turn that on, but there's a difference in brightness. There's the Larry light again. It's just incredibly bright. I'm so amazed at this thing. Just to show you, highlighting the floor in the camper, let me turn on the overhead light. And there's just with the overhead light. Bring the Larry light back into play. Look at that. You can see crisp, fine detail. I can't believe this thing. It's just, you have to see it to believe it. I think I'm going to get a bunch of these because it's just amazing. Again, take away the Larry light, and that's with my overhead camper lights. And I'm just holding this up next to my camper light. It's just amazing, and it highlights a huge area in the camper. So now I'm going to shut off all my lights. Now I have nothing else, and there's just the Larry light. Now let's look back into the back. There's a cat sleeping on the bed happily. This is incredible. It lights up this area bright as daylight. So I'm going to experiment with this in the next couple days, but I'm so impressed. I seriously think I'm going to get a bunch of these to keep around. And actually, if I can figure a way to rig these up instead of my LED lights that I'm using now, this is just amazing. Got me sold. Tonight I have something special. I have fish from the lake right here on the property and some stir-fried potatoes. This is as fresh as it gets. These fish were living just minutes ago. So this is part of living off the grid. Good, healthy, fresh eating. I moved my thermoelectric cooler to the floor today because it was nearly 80 inside the camper, and out in the sun wouldn't have been any better, and I have no way to plug it in out there anyway. And I have a little bit of a problem. The temperature has been 50 degrees inside that all day, and I have a bunch of foods I'm trying to keep cold. Well, alcohol-free beer. I used to drink a lot of alcohol, now I don't. I still like the taste. But I have a bunch of food here that I'm trying to keep cold, including a piece of fish, fresh fish caught today. So I'm really hoping this will cool off. This is really worrying me. The problem is, I'm down to 12.4 on the batteries. It's after dark, and I'm going to have to turn off that cooler soon. I'm stressing today. Now here's a trick for you. I don't have a freezer, and I went today at 5 o'clock this afternoon. I was shopping in town, if I can find it here now. I bought some ice cream. I put it in 3 plastic bags and wrapped it up in my thick, heavy winter coat. You can wrap it in blankets, between pillows, or whatever. And ice cream, this is now 9:30 at night. It's 4.5 hours later in 70, 80 degree temperatures, and the ice cream will still be frozen. I've done this in 90 degree weather last summer, and it worked well for me. It's in there somewhere. And I have frozen ice cream. Right now it's colder inside than outside. It was 55 when I got up this morning. It's now rising, and now I'll take you outside and show you the outdoor temperature. And this is 8:45 in the morning. It's almost 70 degrees outside right now. This is crazy. Spring is suddenly here overnight. Okay, I found the problem. You guys are correct. See this blackened part on the wire? This is really hot. I think that this bolt came loose somehow, and it was arcing in here. So I'm going to put this back together and see if that might have been the problem, and just keep an eye on it. Everything seems to be fine now. The voltage is pretty stable. I've got 11.5, 12 amps steady current, and my wires are no longer hot. So I think it was the loose wire causing the problem. Don't know how it could have come undone, but I want to keep an eye on this just to be safe. The extra current is from my old solar panels combined with the Harbor Freight panels and one of the new panels. Seems to be making a difference. Although it's 12 volt panels along with 24 in parallel, the current is adding up. Just to confirm, I just unplugged the Harbor Freight panels. I'm down to just about 10 amps. I'm going to plug them back in, face them into the sun, come back. And yes, the Harbor Freight panels are giving an extra amp. I think they could probably provide much more, but because they're in parallel with the 24 volt panels, I'm sure there's something weird going on in the lines, but at least it gives some gain. Well, my charging current has been holding at 12 amps all day, and my voltage is hanging steady at 13.6 all day. So I think, and the wire isn't hot anymore, I think that was my problem all the way across the board with the charging and everything, was this loose wire. So it's looking good. Maybe I'll have more power tonight too. I experimentally hooked up that second 200 watt solar panel. Brought me up to 14 volts and 16.25 amps. I'm just going to monitor this for a few minutes and see what happens. See if it was that loose wire causing me all that trouble in the first place. Maybe my panels will work with this charge controller. I'll find out now. Hi, this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World. Another sunny day today. It was, I believe, over 70 degrees, 74 degrees today, which is an amazing heat wave compared to what we've had. The camper inside was over 80 degrees today, which is, for me, really hot considering I'm used to 50 degrees on average right now, even with heat running. So I spent a lot of time outdoors where it was cooler today, funny enough. I have a couple of questions I'd like to present to you, a couple options and ideas. I know a lot of you would like more video, more whatever. I'm a member of a network of preppers, self-reliance type of people who are like-minded like me. And I have the opportunity to have a Google Hangout, and you guys can all join me and we can have a live chat. The question is, are Monday nights at 9 o'clock alright with you? Do you guys have interest in joining me on a Google Hangout? Let me know. Please share your opinions. Let me know what you think. I have another question to present to y'all. I have been approached by a crowdfunding platform who has interest in me signing up, of course, to help fund my project here. Now, you all know I can use the help, but I want to ask you first, because you guys are more important to me than money right now. I'm wondering if you think I should go ahead with a crowdfunding platform or keep it real like it has been. I'm more leaning towards keeping it real, but I just wonder what you all think. Some of you know already, and some of you have already joined, but the Do-It-Yourself World has a help forum. I know a lot of you have been inspired by my work. I have been helped greatly by many of your comments. I think it's a mutual learning experience. I think this is great for everybody, and I want to thank everybody who's helped with their advice and their comments. And I'd like to invite you all over to the Do-It-Yourself World Forum. If anyone has a project of their own, they'd like help. Obviously, I have some experience here. Others have a lot more experience in different areas. We can all work together. We can all help each other. Come on over to the forum and let's join forces and really share our experiences in one place rather than spread out all over different comments everywhere. It's free. Come on over and join up, and let's learn together.